Hello again and good evening. We're in Larchmont today and we're finishing up a bottle of Chianti Classico Riserva by Felsina. This is a 2015, which is a great year in both in Tuscany and in Piedmont, as it was in many other parts of the world, as we know. Felsina is my favorite producer in Tuscany. They really have just great quality wines at all levels. The Chianti Classico, the Riserva, which, as you may know, the difference there is it has to be aged in barrels for at least 2 years and in bottles for 3 to 6 months. So there's a difference in that aging, and also I think it doesn't have to have, it cannot have as much, like the basic Chianti can have some white wine in it, some white grapes, but once you get to Classico and Riserva, I don't think you can do that. They have several bottlings of Sangiovese. There's a Chianti Rancia, which is a single vineyard Chianti, which is really good, and I love that wine. Maybe we'll do that some other time. They have Fontolori, which is a Sangiovese, but it's not all in the Chianti region, and it's also really top wine. They have their super Chianti called the Gran Selezione, which is an even more pricey and special Chianti, and they have one 100% Cabernet from Tuscany, not Bulgaria, not Maremma, in Tuscany, right next to the vineyard Francia, where they have 100% Cabernet Sauvignon. I have some, I haven't had it yet, but this is something I'm looking forward to trying as well. In any case, this was something I enjoyed over the last couple of days. Looking at the color here, it's pretty dark. Like Chianti tends to be really dark and sort of halfway between red and purple, and I think that color is subtle difference among all the different red grapes, but this is distinctive enough, at least to me. It's 2015, so it should be. I mean, it could have I think it can wait for another 10 years. These Reservas can. But I think this is a good time to be drinking it. The Chianti has usually to me, has more acidity up front on the nose, and the fruit is there's a little bit of there's a lot of dark fruit, dark, red, black, a little bit of a hint of anise or licorice if you want. That develops over time. It wasn't like this when I first opened it. And it does really, it tends to be a little bit more austere, not necessarily severe, but kind of more serious. I don't mind it. I don't take these Chianti Riservas. They're not, to me, they're not playful wines. And again, it's not a negative. It's just that it's a wine that has some purpose behind it. The Sangiovese is really well expressed. The fruit is tight. So again, but again, this is what I like about it. So it's great, and you're really getting, even after 2 days, you're really getting, and probably more so, of that fruit and menthol jumping right off the glass. It's great all along. The finish is really nice. It's lost some of that early bitterness, so you don't have any second thoughts on that, any aftertaste. It's still a little bit more serious, but overall, I think from start to finish, the attack, the mouth, and the finish, the mouth, the palate, it's just very pleasant. It's something that I know, people say, oh, you drink Chianti with pizza, and maybe it has this really good way of cutting through all the acidity of the tomatoes, and it kind of stand up to that, because sometimes tomatoes can be tricky because of their acidity, when they're competing with wine. And this, certainly, we've had many homemade pizza evenings with a nice bottle of Chianti Riserva. I just think that these Reservas, again, it's another example of really good quality wines, not very expensive. You have to sort of forget about any prejudice against, the cheap Chianti label, and then go with a Chianti Classico or Riserva from a good house and the good years, 15, 16, even 17, and then you'll be happy no matter what. You can drink it right away, or you can hold it for a few years. Cheers.